WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. We are living through unprecedented times with a global pandemic now approaching its third year. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. To see if you qualify, please visit. Call 313-388-9799 or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
For the weekly broadcast of Ask Welfare Rights, once again, you've been successful. This is Friday the 13th, and a lot of people think that bad things happen on Friday the 13th. I think just opposite. All kind of good things gonna happen on Friday the 13th. Well, we got up, and we eating some hash browns, and boy, they tasted mighty good. I see you ate yours mighty quick, you know.
I'm not through with mine.
Oh, okay. I thought you was eating them fast, but they was tasting good. My name is Maureen Taylor. I work with the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, and you are about to get an official welcome from my colleague, Marion Kramer, who is the national chairperson of the National Welfare Rights Union. So, Marion, please say welcome to those that may be watching and or listening.
Maureen, we hope not only say hello, but we're so happy to be able to make it this far and keep fighting out here for the benefit of low-income and public assistance recipients, as well as the class as a whole, you know. We will go down like that. And I want you to participate. And remember to call in the numbers below. You could either look at your TV and get the numbers below, but listen to us and get the same numbers. Please turn your TV down where we can hear you. We want to hear what you're saying. The numbers to call in, again, 313-868-0342 or I don't know why this one always hit me. 0351-4336, and the website is www.tv33whpr.com. Please leave.
Go ahead.
Please.
Speakerphone, is that what you're going to say?
No, yeah. Remember to put your speakerphones down where we can be able to hear you and let the audience hear what you're saying. Thank you.
All right. A lot of things going on. I want to go back to this information that Marion and I have been talking about for at least 18 or 19 months, and that's the information called SARA, COVID Emergency Relief / Rent Assistance. Marion, I had a couple of cases this week where people were needing help with DTE bills, and the folks that I called over at Wayne Metro were making it clear that you have to have a rental arrearage. If you're behind on your rent, you're eligible for SARA help and DTE help. If you're not behind on your rent and you just need help with your lights and gas, you have to call directly to Wayne Metro, okay? And they still have money available. And I don't know why, folks are just not wanting to call in, but the number to the SARA program is area code 313-388 9799. Almost went blank there for a minute. 388-9799. Then I got another piece of information from a long-term member of Welfare Rights who is got some family members that are going through some very serious health challenges. And we haven't had to deal with this since Joe Green and our beloved Sue. Sue started to get sick, and that's when we had to find out a little bit about power of attorney. I mean, I haven't had a power of attorney case for probably 10 years, up until the time that Joe Green and Sue, you know, I had a whole a lock of information that I may not even remember. But if you have family members that are minors and they're in the hospital, and these are not your biological children, all right, you're going to have to start thinking about whether or not you need power of attorney so that grandma or grandpa, who is managing the children at the time, can make decisions. I remember the organization that you, and I can't think of that young man's name. What is it? Can't remember. I see his face. That helped to organize. We were still over at Detroit NFI. Grandparents raising children.
The name
you remember that?
Yeah, it was grandparents raising people's children. Period. You know, because we wanted to make sure they don't you know, not to exclude no one at the time.
And that whole discussion, boy, that was 30 years ago. Grandparents raising children. And that's when first time I believe you were certainly teaching a lot of us this whole phrase about ineligible grantees and learning what that was. You know, you may not be eligible for an open and outright cash assistance case, but if you're raising children that are not yours and you have to have the power of attorney and all the rest of that stuff, there are dollars that were available, and I'm saying were because I don't know if any of that changed now. You know, it's been so long since I looked at ineligible grantee rules and regulations. You know, what were you going to say?
It's still around. You know, people need, if, you know, the thing is people think that they're not eligible. You don't know the taste of a pear unless you bite into it. You have to go and either call Michigan Welfare Rights or ask your worker about it or call the welfare department. You know, because as a grandparent, you can get a power of attorney over those children.
Well, it's not that. It's the ineligible grantee stuff.
Yeah, well, I want to say both of them because they think that they have to be responsible, you know, that they cannot take care of the children.
You mean financially responsible.
Take care, yeah. They think that they don't have none. They have funds at the Department of Health and Human Services to deal with that. So please don't sit back and let this truck run over you and the children. Understand to call our office. What is it, Maureen?
313-964-0618. You know, now, you know, in the old days, we would be able to get the manual and the manual references, and we would get the workers to fax that information to us so we could read it, and we used to keep that stuff in the book and identify it and all that. And now, you know, I don't know what, you know, I think a lot of things are online. Caller, I'm coming right to you.
Online.
A lot of things are online now. And but this whole question about grandparents raising children, oftentimes grandchildren, but sometimes raising nieces and nephews and whatnot.
Yes.
So the phrase is ineligible grantee, an ineligible grantee. And what does that mean, and what kind of resources are available for a person that may not be raising their own biological children? Ineligible grantee, eligibility rights. That's. I'm gonna have to look it up too and figure it out. You know. Just a moment, caller.
It's still there. I just want to remind folks, you can, if you have a computer and you know how to deal with that computer, you can go into the Department of Human Services on the computer and look up
Ineligible grantee. Yeah. Caller, you've been very patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling. Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air.
Grand Rising, everybody.
And Grand Rising, and good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, and this is some beautiful weather. We got summer a little early, huh?
Well, it's no telling. We have summer today. It's liable to snow Monday, so you know
Well, you two stop
can't
it.
tell. You know,
That global warming.
at global
I've got,
warming.
Quite
All right.
a few news for you if you're ready for me.
We are ready for the Highland Park News Blast. Go right ahead.
All right, here's the Highland Park update. It's that time again for the annual Michigan Week Parade.
Yes.
That's the Parker Pride Alumni Association presents the annual Michigan Week Parade, Saturday, May 21st, next Saturday,
Yeah.
12 noon, Hamilton and Tuxedo. For more information, you can contact Sydney Spite at 748-228-6369. That's Sydney Spite at 748
Happy birthday.
228-6369. There'll be food and vendors and bouncy things, and there'll be a battle of a band. You know, we do it every year. This is the 68th annual Michigan Week Parade. Everybody's invited. It's a wonderful time to greet your neighbor, greet your friend, even greet your frenemy.
Where did you say it will be this year?
Where does it start?
12 noon, Hamilton and Tuxedo.
Okay.
And it'll go all the way to 10 Pinkett, the recreation center. They'll be out there on the field, the Reggie McKenzie Field.
All right.
I can't march this year, but I sure could get in my car and drive.
All right.
Gracie, Gracie went to the meeting
Yeah, she
this
told me.
week because she wants to have a car for the Human Rights Coalition
Yes,
to be in the
yes, we
parade.
talked about
That's
it.
a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. And your insignia on the
Yeah.
side of the car.
That's right.
I like
That's
it.
right.
I like it. Now you said Michigan Week Parade. That's May the 21st, which is next Saturday, not tomorrow, but a week
right.
from tomorrow. And it starts at 12 o'clock noon at the corner of Hamilton and Tuxedo.
That's right.
So folks that need more information, I guess maybe more vendors or you know, to try to get more details about what the activity is, can call area code 748-228-6369. Did I get it right?
That's correct.
And if you haven't seen a lot of people in Highland Park that you know, you need to let them know about it because it's always a good activity to be able to look in their faces again.
All right, Grand Rising. What else is going on in the beautiful metropolis of Highland
Just
Park?
1 second. Let me pull this up. Please.
Okay.
That didn't come up.
While you're looking, I know that Marion was explaining to me yesterday that the folks in some communities in Highland Park are tired of the length of time that it's taken these construction folks to finish their work.
That's right.
And I remember in the wintertime, when I would come by to pick Marion up, they had those holes in the street then. So we're looking 6, 7, 8 months down the road, and I guess it might be time for folks to ask the question, how long, how much longer is this going to take? You know, lot of construction on a residential street. So I heard that. So did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, I did. Thank
Go
you
right
so
ahead,
much.
ma'am.
Now, here you go again. Save the date. The Highland Park High class of 1972 is celebrating 50 years, living your life like it's golden. That's Saturday, August the 6th. It'll be at the St. John's Banquet and Conference Center, and there's a registration. It's an email address at hphcclass01972 @gmail.com.
You need
That's
to
save the
email
date
that
for
to
Highland
us.
Park High class of 1972 celebrating 50 big old years.
50-year
Gonna be at the
anniversary
St.
of
John's
those
Banquet and
graduating from high
Conference
school.
Center.
We don't need to
Come on
email
out
that.
and show some pride, show some love, and that you still here.
I was talking to Marion. Marion is suggesting that should be emailed, and I was telling her, if this is your 50th anniversary from graduating from high school, you don't need that email because you don't know anything about email, computers, or none of that. So, congratulations in advance before the August activity of those who graduated in 1972. You'll figure it out how to get the details on that particular event. So there's no point in that going email out because nobody know how to get that through the email. All right, Grand Rising. Anything else that might be
Yes,
going
ma'am.
on? Go right ahead, ma'am.
The city of Highland Park and Wayne County and surrounding areas, there's a free COVID-19 vaccines. We can't forget that because it's still on the rise. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, that's Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. First and second vaccine for ages 5 and up. First booster vaccine for ages 12 and up. FDA approved second booster vaccine for ages 50 and up, or those with a compromised immune system. Free COVID testing on Mondays, 2 to 8 p.m., or Fridays, today, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's at the Ernest T. Ford Recreation, 10 Pinkett, Highland Park, Michigan. And there's a phone number here, 313-580-3208 for further information. That phone number again is 313-580-3208. Please come on out and get your vaccines and your boosters. And please get this because it hasn't gone away. Our people I notice now are wearing masks and everything. That's a good thing.
What's she saying?
But this is some serious business. So encourage all that you love and all that you know to come on and get immunized.
Madam Grand Rising, let me just say this. I don't know how many people, including yourself, happened to notice the COVID numbers yesterday. 17,742. I think that was the number over a period of a week. 17,742 new infections.
Wow.
We're not talking about across the country. We're
Yeah.
talking about in Michigan. Okay, 76 people have passed away in the last week from COVID. And folks are still not convinced. And, you know, it's a gamble. Marion and I were just talking about it, you know. Those folks that, well, I don't need it. I had the virus. And I'm now immune. Okay, keep believing that. And get sick maybe once, maybe get sick maybe twice. And that second time, you're in very, very bad shape. And just to think that, you know, I mean, it's amazing to me. I'm watching these NBA basketball playoffs. And half the people, and I'm being generous, half the people on TV, nobody's wearing a mask. They're in a group,
And
in a
the
setting,
children out there.
children out there, and they're in a setting where there's all kind of people you don't know that don't live in your house.
Spreading.
You know, so did you all notice, I know Marion, we talked about it yesterday, we have reached the 1 million person that have died from COVID. 1 million. And yesterday on one of the channels, I think Channel 7 National News, they concentrated on the 250,000 orphan children that were left because the parents, both sometimes, or one of the parents had passed away. 250,000 children.
That's a lot of
Over 1 million grown folks have died. And it's always the same thing, the overwhelming majority not vaccinated. And people are just willing to take this gamble. You know, well, it hadn't happened to me so far. And I'm pretty healthy and I eat good and all this kind of stuff. And
Oh, that's
you
crazy
forget,
stuff.
what about the people that visit you, or the people who you visit?
Right.
You know, so I looked at those numbers yesterday, and all you can do is shake your head, Madam Grand Rising. I just don't understand it.
It's
I don't
hurting.
understand
It's
it either.
really
Oh boy, boy, boy. So thank God, almost everybody in welfare rights, as
Uh-huh.
far as I can tell, we're all vaccinated. Maybe one or
Right.
two sneaking around. Even
It's
Teresa
right.
got vaccinated and boosted. Right,
No
she had
question.
to. They told her, and she gonna keep teaching classes down in North Carolina. She gonna have to get boosted up.
Yes, right.
You know, so most of us are already boosted, and my kid had to go to the doctor yesterday to take a look at his ankle. Something going on where he twisted it, and I guess they have a sign that says in order to be boosted, you have to be 50 years of age or older. So he didn't say anything because he knew that this Wednesday coming up, he knew he was going to the Pitkins Center and was going to be boosted with the rest of us. So I don't know, Madam Grand Rising. I don't understand how it is that your people live. I don't get it. Madam Grand Rising, let me ask you to comment on one more thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
And this is not a Highland Park only story. Have you been keeping up with the fact that the country has a shortage of baby formula? And
Yes,
this
I've
is
heard about
only
that.
a shortage where low-income people are suffering. Rich folks, you know,
They
they
got
able to
their
get
own-
what they want,
yeah.
right? But well, what do you think about that? Shortage on baby formula. What do you think, Madam Grand Rising?
It just sounds like another conspiracy on our people.
Another way to get rid of us.
Another way, euthanasia.
You know, babies can't get the formula. And I saw one of the mothers on TV, her child is supposed to eat 4 ounces every 4 hours.
Right.
That's kind of an interesting thing. When Navarre was coming along, Navarre had a watch on when he was born. Navarre had a Timex watch. And the alarm went off when it was time
Oh,
for
that's
Navarre to eat. You know, but this lady said that instead of 4 ounces every 4 hours, she was feeding her baby 2 ounces every 2 hours because she was
That's gonna-
afraid. Well, she was afraid that she would end up with the 4 hour formula, that she would end up with some formula that the baby didn't eat, and she had to throw it away. So she had smaller portions, so
Right.
that way she wouldn't waste anything. I never heard of nothing like that in America while we're sending millions of dollars
Trillions.
to other people's
Trillions
babies.
of dollars.
And I got no
Not
problem
just that.
helping other people's babies, but these babies right here need help.
Not just that, this war on the abortion. You know,
Yeah.
you care nothing about the living.
Very good point, Madam Grand Rising.
You know?
Don't care nothing about it at all, you know?
No.
You know, Lord. Well,
Talking
now,
about, pro-life, pro-life. What about the pro-life right here, right now?
they're not concerned about that. Even they're not concerned about pro-life the moment the baby's born. Then you on your own.
Oh,
See?
you on your own.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes no freaking sense.
Remember, we're calling for retroactive abortion. You know, that we send these people back to their parents' wombs, because we don't need them out here talking about what women need to do, and you know how we need to. They want to be over what kind of step we take and everything else. The fight is on.
Yeah, it's on now.
It's on.
Madam Grand Rising, just before you leave us for today, I know there's something about a sandwich of some sort
Uh-oh.
that you might want to talk about, a sandwich.
Yum, yum. Sonny's Neck Bones, home of the neck bone grill cheese sandwich. You can get your beef, your pork, and your turkey. I was talking to my sister last night, and I was telling her about it. She said she saw it. She said she just couldn't understand how neck bones could be on a sandwich. I said, it's all meat. It's all meat.
Okay.
No bones, it's all meat. You don't need no teeth to eat that neck bone sandwich.
Oh,
You can
okay.
call 248-257-0474. That's at 16455 Woodward Avenue in Highland Park. Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Go on and get your neck bone sandwich. And if you don't want that neck bone sandwich, you can get the tater tots and the neck bones. It's a
Tater
meal.
tots.
It's a meal that I can eat for 2.5, almost 3 days. They give you a whole lot of delicious, tender neck bone meat and great tater tots. It's just, meat and
Tater
potatoes.
tots,
Or
I
that
have
beautiful
that
sandwich
one time.
that comes on a long toasted panera bun with cheese and the sweet, sweet, tender neck bones. That's the beef, the pork, or turkey. So go on and treat yourself today. Everybody deserves a treat. Why not try some Sonny's neck bones?
I think the Sonny's Neck Bone Enterprise ought to show up at the Michigan Week Parade and ought
Yes,
to put a
I
truck
agree.
out there and have one sign with a big turkey on it, another sign with a pig on it, and another sign with a cow on it so people
That's
can
right.
get in the right line, right?
That's right.
Madam Grand Rising, Mary, did you have something else? I thought you were getting ready to ask us something else.
Is Gracie coming on or what?
Well, that's not the question for Linda, is it?
Both of them know.
You know,
I got
Linda,
one announcement before we close.
do you have any updated information about this judge's ruling that
no.
just?
I have no updated information, but the governor also is appealing to Glima.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we're trying to get more information, a little bit more detail of what happened
Okay.
on that particular case. But as always, Madam Grand Rising, you've given us a thorough and a very complete report. We thank you for it. And
wanna
if
thank
Lord
you
is
for
willing, next Friday we will expect you once again to give us updates on what's going on in the glorious metropolitan area called Highland Park.
One more time before I close, I want to give a shout out to our Crystal Bernard. She is graduating, and we are all proud of her.
Here, here. All right, Crystal Bernard. All right. Thank you, Madam Grand Rising.
Thank you.
All right now.
Bye-bye.
Okay. 313-868-0342, 313-868-0351, 313-868-4336. I think the attitude that most people have, hold on, maybe this is the report we're waiting on. I think it is.
Yeah.
Caller, hold on. Caller, are you there?
Hello?
You're there.
Hey.
All right, good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good
Hi, I
morning.
heard my name mentioned this morning by Linda Wheeler saying that I attended a meeting yesterday
Yes.
about the parade, and I just didn't make it. But I'm going to still see if maybe I can get a car in there.
We can get our
Not
car
just
in there,
walk.
probably.
About the Human Rights Coalition
Yeah.
and the water situation in Highland Park.
Well, madam, can you say anything about this new court ruling we're hearing a lot about?
Yeah. We have been fighting. Well, number one, we want our water plant back. But we've been fighting because the connection with Gliwa, isn't good. Water pressure in Highland Park is not what it should be. The water quality, we've been dealing with, the lead in our pipes, and, that has something to do with homeowners, but, the state should give us some money to replace these lead lines. But this particular ruling, the court battles, have been going back and forth for years. And it's there's some agreements that were made in around 1996 between Detroit Water System, Highland Park, and Chrysler. Chrysler was leaving Highland Park, and they had some money to buy themselves out so that they could move to wherever they moved.
Auburn Hills.
Auburn Hills.
Miss Gracie, hold on just 1 second. Callers, those of you that are trying to call in, You're going to have to wait about 6 or 7 minutes because we need to hear this report from Miss Gracie. So we're not going to take any calls for about 6 or 7 minutes while she gives us this update. Go ahead, Miss Gracie.
Yeah, and so in that settlement, you know, Chrysler actually, the money they were paying Highland Park went to the Detroit water sewage. 65% of the money collected from Highland Park went to Detroit in a separate bank account.
That's right.
So that, you know, to pay down the debt that Highland Park supposedly owed. But, you know, that was a horrible settlement, you know, the city into that. And it was just horrible, you know, that some entity could take 65% of what water bill was collected in the city. So, you know, this, when we have 4 emergency managers who just sold off assets in the city, right?
Right.
And right now we have a city administrator. When she came in, what she did was go over the records. These are records that were available when all these 4 emergency managers were mismanaging Highland Park and found out that about these contracts and that we were being overbilled and for water and that we did not owe GLEWA now that they've taken over for the Detroit Water and Sewage Department. We did not owe them this money, and that they actually owed us money. And, you know, most significantly, that we were being overcharged. So, like this week, well, when GLEWA, they played the wrong hand. They told the communities in Wayne County that they were going to have to pay money that Highland Park owed because Highland Park hadn't been paying adequately for like 10 years. Now, they knew all this, what Highland Park was paying or not paying, you know, because Highland Park was paying, but not what GLEWA wanted them to. So, but the cities knew that. It was based on, you know, and what happened is, you know, what they didn't really project anything. They didn't announce stuff to the other cities, you know, like they did this last time, thinking that, you know, these cities were going to just be angry with Highland Park, but they took a stance. Most of them, they said, hey, well, if Highland Park isn't paying, you know, we're not going to pay this Highland Park debt. And so since they threatened not to pay, and I don't know if some of them actually didn't pay, well, the rate increase wouldn't take effect until July, their next, year's budget. It wouldn't take place until then. But they were threatening not to pay. And so the court, they appealed again. Now, what they did was appeal the settlement that a judge had given to Highland Park, in Highland Park's favor, really, about 2 years ago. And what the judge had said was that we were being overbilled, didn't owe all that money, and shouldn't pay and shouldn't pay it, you know, because GLEWA should pay us $1 million that we were owed. So they appealed an agreement, you know, it's like an arbitration agreement where they agreed to this settlement from that judge. And so what they did was, since they appealed, this new judge, what he said was he made a ruling on that Highland Park should start back putting an escrow amount that they had agreed to, and it didn't have to be based on the 1996 amount of money that they had agreed to pay. Now, you know, like, see, Maureen, you guys, if you owe on your mortgage and another company buys your mortgage rates stay the same. They can't arbitrarily say you owe more. You know, you get what I'm saying?
I understand clearly. Yeah.
that a contract is a contract,
Not
and they should adhere to that.
a contract.
Not, we don't owe them any more money than we agreed to pay.
But a contract
that's-
is not a contract in America.
That's right.
America,
Particularly
there are
when you
different
already
rules.
Picking a city up to 65%
You know.
of what's coming in on a bill.
Okay, but I want you to make it really clear so people understand. You know, a lot of times we hear explanations and maybe some of that goes over our head. There was a judge just yesterday, day before yesterday,
2 days.
issued a ruling that said, I don't agree with the last settlement that was dealt with 2 years ago. And now people in Highland Park or the residents in Highland Park now should be putting together an escrow account and putting money into it so that GLEWA can get a new payment arrangement, which
Right.
is really, you know,
It's
the
robbery.
new stuff in
It's
America.
outright
Yeah.
robbery. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Because
and the
this
only
has
thing
been
that he
going on
said
a long
was
time.
That he agreed. Well, he did not make a ruling on the fact that Highland Park was being overbilled.
That's
He
right.
didn't touch that. But he claimed he wants Highland Park
To pay
put
for it.
Put
money in
escrow on it.
escrow based on that new rates that they want. See, what they really got mad about was that Highland Park wasn't paying. They were deducting the $42 million and sending an invoice to GLEWA. They were paying based on that the judge's ruling 2 years
2
ago
years ago.
that said GLEWA, so Highland Park was sending them an invoice because they were said GLEWA was said to owe Highland Park $42 million. So they got angry because Highland Park was sending in a bill based on the fact that we were overbilled, and so GLEWA, since they owed this money, Highland Park was invoicing them and deducting from that $42 million that they already owed.
And then
So
lied
anyway,
to the people
he
in the
didn't
suburbs,
touch
too.
the fact that he thought Highland Park was being overbilled.
We need to know.
But-
You know the. Wait a minute, Gracie. You know the name of that judge. We need to
Yeah, I
get.
got it here. While I'm finished, Groner, Groner. Now, he said, like what Governor Whitmer, what she did was she wrote a letter to GLEWA and asked them to pause the portion about the rate increase that it was attributing to Highland Park and up until their next fiscal year. She said, she wasn't going to take sides, but all this stuff is still in litigation. So it was wrong for GLEWA to try to put a debt that hadn't been settled. You know, all of this is still in litigation, and that she suggested that they wait until the final ruling on that.
Now,
was
Miss
made.
Miss Gracie.
And also, she said, look, I've already given you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So since the state has given you a lot of money, you should, that, should be enough. Well, she didn't say that should be enough, but she was saying that she didn't understand why they needed to even talk about
More money.
Highland Park
Yeah.
debt being given, to the other communities.
Okay, now, Miss Gracie, another minute, and then we got to move on. Is there? This is not over. This is still
Oh, no, it's
in
just
litigation.
beginning again.
Okay,
Right.
and so I don't know if there are any additional court dates or whatnot set up. And hearing what you said, that there are several components to this, and this judge that said put up some escrow money, that's just the one ruling, said nothing about whether or not residents in Highland Park were being overcharged. So they're not going to touch that. So are you aware of when, and maybe it's too soon, the next case discussion, the next part of this case is going to come up?
Now, I'm sort of unclear on that. The article in the newspaper said that there's supposed to be another hearing next week, but it says both parties are due back in court next week.
Well,
But I don't know if
What
that's
court?
in
Well, we should follow
relationship
up.
to the previous settlement that they made or not, or this judge was going to take things over, which hopefully he won't.
all right, it sounds like, what's the name? I've forgotten the name of the judge that in the 70s put a chokehold on Highland Park about fresh water, clean water, and he finally died. That judge was like 73 when he took over Highland Park water. It'll come back to me. It was a long time ago, but it looks like that's
Yeah.
what's happening to you all again.
Again.
Yeah, he was the same one that negotiated something for Detroit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You're right. I know who you're talking about. but I
Can't call his name.
And the school system too.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has something to do with the school system.
Ms. Gracie, are you aware of a fire that happened at one of your schools in Highland Park over the last week?
Yeah, the old Highland Park High School
Yeah.
caught fire. But, like it was reported in the newspaper that the building burned down. It didn't burn down. It was one part of the building that was further damaged, because it's been set afire, before. But the old building, it's a tough
That's a tough
building.
piece
It
of
was
building
built
there.
like buildings should have been continue to be built,
And it was unoccupied anyway, is that right?
Oh, for sure. It's been
Okay.
occupied for years.
Years.
Okay.
And that's the same building. Like, I don't know who owns it now, but there was this guy, Galapagos, from New York,
Yeah.
who had came in, bought the building about 10 years ago. And he was he claimed he was going to put artists in the building.
Yep.
It was going to be similar to a facility that he had in New York that he was closing down.
Yep,
And he stopped.
never
You know,
happened.
he
Yeah.
came in, bought two buildings.
Yep.
He sold the other one that was in Southwest Detroit for like more than double of what he just flipped it. So
Yeah.
he must have had trouble flipping Highland Park,
Yep.
that building.
All
So
right.
I don't know. I don't think he owns it now, but he got it at a sweet cost, which was horrible. But
Yeah, that's what
just
they
walked
do.
away like people do.
Yeah. yeah.
Just like the Illages and
The Gilberts.
that other guy,
Yeah.
Rocket Mortgage. You know how they
Yeah.
do Detroit.
That's what they do.
Sit on these buildings and don't do anything with them.
Absolutely. It happens all the time and 10 times more often on the weekends. Ms. Gracie, thank you very much for bridging this discussion. Wanted to get this out in the public's eye. There are things going on, shenanigans going on in Detroit, in Highland Park. We never get a chance to see what the devil's going on in Hamtramck. But my guess would be that there's shenanigans going on there as well. Ms. Gracie, we hope we can depend on you to bring us up to date with any additional new information next Friday when we get on air. So any other new activities come up along these issues, please note it and give us a call next Friday so we can stay alert on all of these things that are going on.
Well, appreciate it. And, you need to have Flint here, too.
That's what
yes.
I was about to
they're
bring
still
up.
being messed
Benton
over.
Harbor, Flint, Pontiac, it's a whole
Pontiac,
bunch of
all
them.
of
Yep.
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 And-
Thank you,
and-
Miss
and
Gracie.
One
Okay,
last
then.
thing, Gracie.
Bye-bye.
Well, anyway, to the listening audience, we need to also get on with some of the people in the surrounding area because, see, they have been lied to by Glima and all the rest of them that we're the ones that are not paying our bills. We have to let them know they, not them, but Glima is the one that have been the crook in this whole thing, and expose these people for what they are. So we really need to go out and talk to the people in the other communities, like around Highland Park, and let them know that we need to be in this fight together. Because if they succeed with Highland Park with this nonsense, they're going after those other communities, and they're not going to have nobody to fight with them.
Caller, you've been very patient. Thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air. Caller, are you there? Caller, you've been very patient. Thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air.
Grand Rising.
Go ahead, Grand Rising.
I just wanted to add another footnote to the burning of our beloved high school and junior college.
Yeah.
In fact, it is owned by Robert Elm, who was the owner of Galapagos Space in New Jersey. He came to Highland Park because, see, Galapagos Space in New Jersey, he had a 5,000 square foot, what can I say, sunken aquarium that you could walk on. So when he came to Highland Park, he said he wanted to build a 10,000 square foot. And my whole question was, why would a man that's a businessman come to Highland Park when we had these water woes? How can you build a 10,000 square foot aquarium and we had all these water problems? Our water station was shut down. I found out years later, y'all, that all of the main water pipes or water, pipes are under every school.
So he would own water rights too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now, he still owns the site that caught on fire. And like Gracie said, it wasn't the whole building. It was just the auditorium of the high school part.
My goodness. Well,
It's about a 2-block city-long, school. I graduated from that school. It's got good bones.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
So it held up even under a arson, where somebody, maybe the homeless, there's no telling, went in and created a fire to cook some hot dogs, and it caught fire. So yeah.
I can't point the finger at the homeless,
No.
although we know that they do these things. But I mean, if they haven't entered there and caught fire to it now, it really seems really highly unlikely that it would happen, at this late stage. The college and the high school has been shut down since before 2012.
Yes.
Without people messing with it.
It has been my experience that when developers and property owners, like corporate property owners, when they want a property to go offline, they destroy the whole building. They're very good at hiring somebody to go in and put all kind of fire starting equipment all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's a
now
problem.
When he bought that building for pennies, for $18,000, a 2-block structure, including the parking lot and the other facilities, too. We all in Highland Park could have put $100 up. $18,000, courtesy of the emergency manager, Witherspoon at that time. He also bought Ferris School, who's on Cortland, which has been completely now demolished. It is nothing but flat land, which is close to a block that he also bought. And he bought the tower.
And city
that's over
council
there on
and
Highland. I mean, he was just coming and doing a land grab.
Buying what he wanted.
and city council let it go through too.
Well, yeah, because see, that property was deemed back to the city when we so-called had the school district a water debt of $700,000. I kept asking for receipts. Where's the receipts? Let me see what the meter read. They never showed any dang receipts.
Yep.
This was just a crazy estimate. $700,000 they claimed that our district owed in water. So to offset that, it was traded with land and buildings and property. We lost a lot of property. It was stolen. Not lost, it was stolen.
Yeah,
And
makes good
that
sense.
was for the plan of letting people like that's downtown Detroit to expand here, and the hospital that's coming in to expand here without us even knowing it.
Well, clearly, the information that you ladies have shared today, that should be information that the administration sends out in the newsletter, updates, so that you can be made aware of financial activities that are going on, the exchange of properties and all that sort of thing. So, you know, like we say all the time, you have to pay attention. You have to come out of your house. You have to go to the meeting. You have to turn on the television.
right.
You have to call somebody so that you can get the details about what's going on. Otherwise, you're going to just be in the dark and stay in the dark.
That's right.
Madam Grand Rising, thank you very much for that addendum piece of information that you just shared with us. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, dear. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're down to our last 7 minutes. 313-868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336. Marion, next Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yes. May the 24th. As many of us as possible should be downtown at the Spirit of Detroit statue on Woodward and Jefferson at 10 o'clock in the morning. Most of the folks in Detroit that were property owners still are, and those that used to be. We were alerted a few years ago that we were overcharged, overtaxed by the amount of somewhere in the area of $600 million. And that that money had already been spent. It was a mistake. We were overcharged, but that money had already been spent. And the administration made it very clear we're not going to be able to get it back.
I mean,
so
slap them in
you know,
the face.
Next Tuesday,
that.
10 o'clock, Spirit of Detroit. Next Tuesday, 10 o'clock, Spirit of Detroit. Next Tuesday,
All of you that
10
can come
o'clock,
out, we need
Spirit
you
of
out there.
Detroit. Should be coming out there, and even if you lost your property or you're a renter, you should be coming out to talk about what happens when a gang steals money. And you find the gang hangout, and you go down in the cave, and there's the gang, and there's the money. Shouldn't you get your money back or a credit? Something, you know, can't just talk about $600 million is missing, and it's our fault. We're the ones that made the mistake, but there's nothing we can do about it now. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. So 10 o'clock, 24th of May, Spirit of Detroit, Woodward, and Jefferson.
Everything that these capitalists that are coming in here want, the mayor is opening up the house for them and using your money for that type of stuff.
Now, you know, Mary, there is a thought among a lot of middle class, upper middle class elected officials that if rich people are given resources, that they will let those resources trickle down. and that's been a message for decades, for centuries. If we give Rockefeller and their money, the Mellon family that own all these oil industries, if we let them have millions and billions of dollars some kind of way, that's going to trickle down. And the way they usually describe it is, well, if they got a lot of money, that means they could drill more and give you a job.
No, and they say, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, but we could do math.
Yeah.
Well, we could do math even with our shoes on, you know. Tim, you say what? Shoes on, we can still count, you know. And I remember when, what's the name of the bottled water company? I can't remember them. Up in Mecosta County, here's Michigan, this way. And right here, they bought all of those tiny farmers, not the Mormons, the Mennonites. Went up there and bought those Mennonite farms, and those Mennonites, some to drive cars, you know, the other ones don't drive cars, and with the flat hats, and they farmers and all this, and bought up all of their farms, talking about, they didn't buy up the farms, they bought up the water rights.
The wells.
The wells and the water rights, and they said your well will hardly be affected by this. And then they bought, you know, the whole great big section, whole lot of farms. And then all of a sudden, when Farmer Joseph went to feed the chickens, it turned on the spigot, not a flow of water, drop start coming out, right? And oh Lord, why can't I remember the name of them? Too many things on my head. And what they ended up saying is that this is the best, the clearest, the cleanest water, coming out of Michigan, and they were bottling it and selling it for their corporation. Of course, the promise is, well, you need a new library, so we're going to build that for you. And we need to put some concrete on your roads, so you know you need that. Okay, Massa. So yeah, Massa come in and got all the Mennonite farms and whatnot, and started to drain that water off, because we've got the best mineral water, you know, surrounded by the Great Lakes. And I think all the complaints and whatnot that started to come out, people started to take a look at this. Wait a minute, we can't keep
They
selling
fought for a long
our
time.
water rights to folks that gonna profitize off of it and give us 2 roads, 1 library, and 18 books. What kind of plan is that? So, you know, we had this kind of thing going on where these corporations come in always with a smiling face. They always look good, too, you know. I remember when I first was meeting with the folks at Gliwa. Sylvia, you were there a couple times. And the guy that I sat next to, I always forget his name. I was just fascinated. He had manicured cuffs. And I would look at this guy, and his fingernails were clean, and he had clear nail polish, and every now and then when he was talking, he would take his little finger and he would scratch his face, and I was saying, look at the money this guy has. And he lived in Chicago. And they brought him from Chicago to Detroit to take over the Detroit Water and Sewage Department. And we fought until they stopped telling us when the meetings were. And you know, I saw Dave Bing on TV the other day, and I
Yeah, did you
remembered
see
that.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Lanier passed. So I remembered all of that kind of stuff. But these corporations, they find the people to open the door for them. And then they go in, and they're always immaculate and wonderfully dressed, and they talk so nice.
And you smell them before they
And
get close to you.
they smell just wonderful. And then while, you know, prayer open the meeting, right? And you close your eyes and put your head down.
And they still.
And when you wake up, they stole everything that you were, that you couldn't see. You put your head down in prayer. When you wake up, all your stuff belonged to them, you know. All right, man.
And Glima is nothing but another part of them.
Yeah, well, they carpetbaggers. All right, Marion, we're at the end of our hour. You have 20 seconds to say goodbye.
Well, I hope you have a nice weekend, and that we will be able to see you next week for the parade that we always enjoy. And let's make sure we all come out on that day and do what we always do, celebrate Highland Park.
Fantastic. I feel the same way. The Lord is willing. The creek don't rise. We will be back next Friday at 10 o'clock. And let us be hopeful. Let us be helpful. Let us not be hurtful. And all of these gun shootings and hijackings and whatnot, let's see if we can give death a 24-hour holiday in Detroit where nobody gets killed. What Mary and I say at the end of every broadcast. Goodbye.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. We are living through unprecedented times with a global pandemic now approaching its 3rd year. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. To see if you qualify, please visit. Call 313-388-9799 or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.